Hey guys, Ginno here today with the new BTS comeback. It has been a while. They've finally started a new concept. If you haven't seen my reaction to BTS's Persona or RM's Persona, well, you can't watch it anymore because it was blocked on YouTube. Not entirely sure why, but that's fine, it's fine. Anyway, today we have Boy With Love, which I'm sort of counting as a sequel to Boy In Love, which is of course a track released by BTS during their school love affair era. Anyway, the track is actually featuring Halsey. I'm sure you guys have all seen the teasers. I don't really have strong opinions on it at all. People seem to either love Halsey or hate her. I really do not have very strong opinions on her. I've listened to some of her music. It's not necessarily for me, but there wasn't anything wrong with it either. She doesn't seem like a particularly controversial person either. So yeah, I don't really have a problem with her. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard mixed things from people about what they're expecting. I'm personally not expecting anything. I'm going to this with a pretty open mind. Lots of people are saying they have to go back to their roots with this one, but I don't necessarily think going back to their roots is correct, because their roots is a sound that they wanted to get away from because it wasn't working. It wasn't right for them. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it a lot. BTS, biggest boy band in the world at the moment. It's absolutely incredible. Going to be on SNL as well. Tomorrow night, isn't it? It's tomorrow night. Airing like the same evening as Game of Thrones. Wonder which one will get bigger viewing figures. I mean, it will be Game of Thrones, but still, like, BTS fans are going to be tuning into that SNL. And that's going to be one of the highest rated SNLs of all time. I really wouldn't be surprised. Like, BTS fans will try and watch that in any way possible. Anyway, I'm going to be giving this song a full review, so I hope you guys enjoy. We're just going to be getting into it now. Let's get into it. Allons-y. Just to let you know, I'm not going to get anything from the music videos. First and second time around, I'm never able to dissect music videos, so yeah, won't be much analysis on that front. Okay. We've got a plucky bass line there, and some quite laid-back synths in the background. Ooh, got a little funk kick to it. Very soft pop delivery. Heavily love song focused lyric-wise. I think there's some thematic similarities with Boy in Love, Boy With Love even. Oh no, Boy in Love, isn't it? It's kind of softcore production. It's quite serene. They've got these piercing synth strings in the background. Very laid back, heavy focus on the drum beat. And those are vocals, those are just distorted vocals, they're not synths. Oh, that was a smooth transition into a more sort of laid back drum beat. Because it's quite a low tempo song, it's quite hard for the rap line to do much with it. Reverb on the voices, that's interesting. Nice combinations. This sort of an instrumental suits JHope the best. Reminiscent of Hope World, especially things like Piece of Pop. Oh, yeah, Piece of Peace Pop. Yeah. That is some stunning background, isn't that? That's beautiful. I'd actually forgotten Halsey was featuring. She's actually involved in the choreography. That's great. Oh, yo. Brought in a little bit of electric guitar. Hey. That was a great little half verse from RM. Brilliant. Outfits are great as well. I could pull off any of these. This is tonally such a different title track to anything BTS have done before. Great job on that. Experimentation, the light funk pop vibe, brilliant. Some very glitchy moments, but that instrumental is so well produced. It was so laid back. I love the reverb even on some of the voices. Some incredible instrumental moments. I really like the switch over into RM's verse, the way they just built in those drums a little bit more and they brought in some electric guitar. Really neat. I would say there was only one moment where I thought it sounded a little bit off, but I reckon that's more of a usage thing. When they went into Suga's verse, there was a real dramatic shift in the production because they removed a lot of the synth, so there was a sudden shift, and because the tempo was so low, it meant Suga couldn't really flow over it with his usual aggression and style. And with his cadence, I don't think it works so much, that slow rap, but I reckon it could be something like a usage thing where I might have to get used to it a little. We're actually just going to do a second run through, so we'll be going back into it. I hope you guys enjoy. Allons-y deux. Now, I didn't really hear much of a Halsey feature. I think she maybe just layered in some background vocals, but that's about it. I kind of like that, though. I mean, I don't necessarily like it when people force in a verse for someone, because it just doesn't, one, it doesn't sound that good. It's a forced feature is not a good feature, so if she's literally just layering background vocals, that's really cool. And then obviously she's in the music video. Yeah, I like that. There's actually a little bit of electric guitar mixed in here. I didn't notice the first time. Some very neat percussion instruments in the background. Not sure if you can hear that plinky, almost sort of xylophone-esque. I'm not sure where the organic descriptions come from. It's not a particularly organic song, it's very electronic, but like there's really no acoustic instruments involved. So I don't know what they meant by that word. I really like that the chorus isn't just super intense, it's just a smooth transition. And there's those string synths, fantastic, the way they flow, really nice. The drum beat is very fresh, simple, but it's very clean. I just love the setup of the music video. The colours are great. The palette is just so like toned down. Okay. There is some electric guitar here as well, so it's, oh, that delicate. I think it is a xylophone actually. The reverb on his voice is interesting. Styly, it's not something BTS really go for, but JHope went for it on his mixtape. The transition in the music video there is amazing. Some of the editing, it's such quite a laid back song, but the editing is just amazing. Okay, I'm going to try and listen out for Halsey's part a bit. Really nice vocals there from Jin. Yeah, C's mixed in there. Yeah. Okay, she's also doing some ad-libs. Oh, that's such a good transition. The outfit's amazing as well. An Icarus reference down. I feel like there's going to be a lot of Greek mythology on this album, with Dionysus as well. Lots of people were saying this looks a bit like the Lotus Casino from Percy Jackson. I can see it. Oh, it's fantastic. It really is. Really, really clean production. Haha. That's great. That was almost orchestral at the end. Okay, so I actually feel like I have a lot to say about that song. It was really cleanly produced. When I first heard the teasers and I was sort of expecting something a little bit more hip-hop based, I was like, okay, so how are they going to turn this around? This sounds really cleanly produced. One of the best things about hip-hop beats is they're not cleanly produced. They're usually really gritty and muddy, and that's what I really like about hip-hop. But when you're doing a track like this, it needs to be cleanly produced, but there also needs to be some atmosphere. That's why I like the funk pop mix, bringing in that electric guitar with really, really short little chords. It's really disrupted, almost staccato in style. That works incredibly well. The reverb on the voices as well gave it a nice depth to it, because really it was quite a simple song. There was only maybe 4 layers at any given time. There was these really plinky xylophone parts in the background as well. I think it was a xylophone, I could be wrong. I'm not great at my percussion instruments. They're really hard to notice, especially when they're that quiet. It was so soothing, and it worked really well, especially when it led into sort of the rap line, where it was pretty much just a drum beat and then a little bit of that electric guitar. The bass line at the beginning with the intro, superb, mixed with the whole atmosphere of the music video, which was pretty colourful, but it was also kind of retro in style. It reminded me of some of Bruno Mars releases, not the song, but like the whole visual of the music video combined with the slight funk pop mix. Some really nice vocals as well. It wasn't a particularly difficult song for the vocals, but there was a lot of different combinations and layerings, especially mixed in with 2 different rap portions. That can be really hard to work in smoothly. I think RM's was probably a little bit more smoothly transitioned into. When they launched into Suga's, it felt a little bit rushed, but at the same time, when you're trying to fit in Suga verse, then JHope's verse, it can be a difficult thing to do, because they have quite different styles, even though their voices can sometimes be a little bit similar. Even their delivery on this, Suga's was sort of abrupt and slow, matching with the tempo, whereas JHope's was a little bit more fast-paced, and his delivery with all that heavy reverb on, it was a different style, so that transition can be a little bit difficult, but I think it came across quite well. RM's was fantastic, I gotta say. Lyric-wise, I think it was the most interesting. I love the Icarus reference. Overall, some fantastic lines in the song. I think it's a way better song than Boy in Love. Boy in Love I like the rattly percussion. I like that electric guitar, because in that song there is electric guitar laying most of the song, so I think it's sort of a reference back to that. The Halsey feature was very muted, and I think it worked very well. I didn't want Halsey just to have like a sung verse in the middle of the track, abruptly doing it, or her just delivering the chorus. It worked well having her as in the music video, and then just doing some layered background vocals. Simple, to the point. It works incredibly well, and I'm glad that's the route they went down. It means they can perform live without her whenever they want. It means when they go to the Korean award shows that they can perform this song and they don't need to invite her for everything. It would still be nice for her to come along, but you know, when you do a featured song, it's kind of hard to fill that gap. I find that whenever groups like Super Junior, you know, they have these featured with some Latin artists, the song feels a little bit different when you don't have those artists and you have to have someone else fill in. It's like I remember watching Gorillaz perform Feel Good Inc., and they didn't have De La Soul coming in to do his verse. It had to be someone else. Anyway, that's going to be it for today. I really like this track. I'm probably going to be doing an album first listen. I don't usually do album first listens, but this is quite a short album. There's only about 5 other tracks that I can actually listen to. I've already done a reaction to Persona, and I just did one to this. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. If you'd like to watch my video essay that I did about BTS a couple of days ago, I'll link it at the end of the video and in the description. I talk about what makes their music sound so good to people, and it's mainly about experimentation. I also did a video yesterday about Big Hit and YG and why their copyright issues could be the end of the YouTube community. It's a little bit dramatic, but I also think it's a very good video, so I'll also link that in the description. Thank you very much for watching. This is going to be Ginno, signing out. See you guys soon.